All right, here we are. I'm excited. Here with Diane,
Yeah.
my friend, and I call you my intuitive, energetic healer.
All right.
I don't know what else to call you. I don't know. You have like many.
That's a good, I have so many titles. You could just, stick one on and it fits.
Yeah. So today we're having a special event, and I was just mentioning before I hit the record button that we've been working together for a few years, and uh, originally I was introduced to you from Lori, our yoga instructor and my friend who now lives in Seattle. And I know you worked with her for many years as well, and her sister as well, right? Back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Many years, like 8, I think 8 years. Mm-hmm.
And I know that, given my, I don't, I can't remember, did I see you first or my wife, Chris? I don't remember. I think
Chris did.
I don't
Yeah, Chris did.
Yeah, so Chris started working with you first, and then I started working with you, and I've referred you to a number of people. So I know you work with a lot
Yes, you have.
of our clients, and thank you for taking care of them. And and usually how I present Diane is, or think of Diane is, when I'm talking with somebody, just so you all know, and you know, and you're going through challenges, transitions, and you kind of feel stuck, and that could be just like stuck with weight. Maybe you're stuck with some kind of pain you can't figure out. Maybe you're stuck in a relationship. I do what I can. I usually focus on my breathing techniques, my hydration, sleep routines. We dial in our food, right? I introduce you to mindset strategies and hopefully get you moving and and get you on a structured workout. But sometimes there's you got to call in the big dogs. Uh, so the guns, you got to bring the guns. So sometimes ask for a little help, and I'm like, hey Diane, I think, or I usually will say to the person first, I think I have somebody that can help you. And Diane is my go-to. And I've had a lot of go-tos over the years. And, I think, there's been a lot of people that I've had amazing success with. And I think that at some level, we kind of have a period of time where this person can help us, right? Or that person. But then we seem to kind of like, we kind of get all we can from that individual, right? But with Diane, I just really feel that she's got a number of tools in her toolbox. She does a lot of things, and I find that I don't know, you just seem to have all the right answers, and at least put me at ease, because that's our word. And I know that Mary can vouch for you as well, who's on here. But yeah, ease. I think that's something that you've taught me. Like, we can make it easier, right? It doesn't have to be as hard.
Right.
So anyway, so that's kind of how I present Diane. And if you want to make life easier, you need someone to be on your team besides me and whoever else you have. Consider talking to Diane. And today she's going to be talking to us about how to improve the digestive system, right? And I think we're going to talk about its role, and and I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. But a lot of people have gut issues, and
Right.
whether that be heartburn or bloating, gas, distension. I think I said constipation, loose stools. Yeah, I don't know. But those are all related to ailments of the gut. And not only that, I mean, sometimes people, I was talking to Wendy today about, she's having some back pain. And I said, well, you know what? Oftentimes that is manifested in this third energy zone, right? This third chakra, which you'll be talking about. And in the immune system, 70% of your immune system is in the gut too. So that's, that's what we're going to be chatting about today. So Diane, I will let you talk now, and let me know if you want me to interject. I'll ask you some questions along the way.
Okay.
And if anybody has any questions for her, she can't see you. So chat below, add your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll relay them. Okay, you are on, Diane.
Great. Well, thank you, Brien, first of all, for inviting me to be here today. This is a new, fun experience. So we'll see how it goes. And we could talk about more than the healthy chakra, the solar plexus chakra is what it's called. But there is so much to it that maybe could help all of you during your process with Brien. I know Brien has your best interests at heart. And to add a different element to it, to your process of energy. Energy is everything, everywhere, and energy knows no bounds. And the energy of food, Brien has educated you about, and the energy, what I'd like to talk about is the energy of what else we're ingesting besides our food. And we are ingesting other people's thoughts, other people's opinions, other people's energy, oftentimes, most of the time, without even recognizing that. So if you're sitting there eating and you're mulling over, he said this, they did that, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. Whatever the down talk is, that's what we're ingesting. So if we're having indigestion problems, that's one of the first places I go to, is to think, okay, what am I thinking? You know, I'm not even thinking about my food. I'm thinking about all the other things that are going on in my head. So the solar plexus chakra has a certain movement. It has a vibration, which is the color of yellow. And that's why I have my yellow flowers over here. It's nice to have the yellow. Oh, the window just opened. It's nice to have the yellow around you too while you're eating, as a reminder. It's an outside reminder. Oh yeah, this is the vibration of our digestive system, and it's a happy color. I don't know, Brien, ask everyone to raise their hand or whatever to see how many people really know the power of our thoughts and how they affect us.
Yeah, if you can comment or raise your hand on the Zoom emoji, that'd be great.
How much you think that it would affect your digestive system. Other people's thoughts, your own thoughts. You know, I talked about your thoughts. What about being around certain people?
Yes. We get a few comments said yes, a ton.
Okay, so people are aware of that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I actually always wanted to be a scientist. I never had support or encouragement to go in that direction, but I use that curious mind of mine to test things out. So with this thought process, I was teaching a class, and it happened to be in a school, and there were 30 people in the room. And I asked for a volunteer of this gal or whoever wanted to come up. And this one gal came up, and I said, okay, how do you, talk about yourself, look at the class, look at the people. And she felt comfortable. And then my assistant took her out into the hall, down the hall, so she couldn't hear anything. And I asked everyone in the classroom to just turn their backs, turn their chairs around. So when she walked back in, she would see nothing but their backs. And I asked them to focus on one thing. And that one thing was, oh, your hair looks messy today, or what a silly blouse you have on, or look at the way she's standing, something that was more of the negative thought pattern. And just think about that with her standing up there. So she comes walking in the room, and all of a sudden her whole body language changed. Her toes started going in. She started slouching, and she's going, I just don't feel good right now. And I said, okay, and then someone else in the class was a nutritionist who used muscle testing, and she muscle tested her, and she was very weak. So my assistant took her back out down the hall, and so I said, okay, everyone stay where you are, but just change your thoughts about this gal. Think about how beautiful she is, how brave she was to get up there, and everything that you could think of that was positive for her, and just picture her just happy and this bright light. So she comes walking back in, and she was like standing up tall, and she got color in her face. She said, wow, I feel really, really good. I feel like everything's fine. It's like everyone here likes me. They recognize me. And so that was the experiment of, then of course we explained to her what happened, and we appreciated her participating in that little test. But that was so powerful for everyone to realize what our thoughts really do. So affecting somebody else, what's happening was her energy level just went way down by being around all that negative energy, those negative thoughts. And and then by building her up and having her feel really good and confident about herself with the good thoughts. Our thoughts, oftentimes, especially from other people, they're like foreign objects in our bodies. So when we're ingesting other people's energy or other people's thoughts, then it's really hard for our body to digest. It's like a foreign object. It could, if it's prolonged or consistent, or it can really create physical health issues. Besides just feeling bad or low energy. So yeah, how many of you can relate to that? I'm used to working in a class setting, kind of. I'm used to seeing people, so I don't know how people are responding. Do you have something
We have yes. We have yes.
Feedback, Brien?
Yes, we have yeses.
Yeses.
Totally, yes, relating, yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that I do when I work with people, is I see how much like it becomes an overload to our system to have other people's thoughts, other people's energy, or just our own that just keeps on spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. That is more of the negative as opposed to the positive. So that's what I assist with, the overload. Oftentimes, like Brien said, I do so many different things. It's not just one thing, one system. I've studied my whole life different healing modalities to understand how our systems work, what I was really seeing, what I see with people. So it helps. And then of course there's the all of a sudden random ways of addressing whatever the issue might be. So for the digestive system, so I think that the whole thought process is really the most important, because we can control that for ourselves. It takes practice. And like I said, the yellow color, you could have yellow flowers, you could have a bowl of lemons that are just beautifully, ripe and beautiful and vibrant. Having things around to remind you about the friendliness, to be friendly with yourselves and to love yourselves. And to remember how the vibration of our solar plexus really has a lot to do with our digestion, and to keep those thoughts clean. I also utilize, there that goes, lemon oil. It just went flying. Let me get that, hold on.
You said lemon oil, right?
Yes.
Got it.
That just went flying across the room.
I
Lemon oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. or just lemons, Brien, I'm sure. I don't really know everything that you say to your clients, but I'm sure lemon is on the list.
Yes, I like people to start off their day with freshly squeezed lemon in their water. Although what I have forgotten to tell people lately, or what I have forgotten to tell people, is that it can screw up your teeth. So we do have to drink that through a straw, because Chris recently went to the dentist and she's having some numbness in her, or she was having something going on with her teeth, gums. And
Yeah.
the dentist said that's like an absolute worst thing you can do for your teeth. Straw, drink it through a straw. But yeah, the lemon oil is what I love, Wendy. Wendy just said lemon oil in a diffuser. Yeah. And
yes.
And you told me, Diane, and especially when I was helping out this older fellow with dementia, you told me I may not be able to get him to put lemon on, but I can put it on me. And
yes,
I would always put it on my hairline, which is evaporating. But so I definitely feel the benefits of lemon for sure.
right. Yeah, that's true about the acid content. And sometimes people get there's like already squeezed lemon juice in different tubes and things at the market. But lemon juice, if it's more than supposedly 5 minutes or maybe 15 minutes after it's squeezed, it starts to change the chemistry. So it becomes more acidic. The acid that's in it when it's fresh or in the oil form is the best used fresh. In the diffuser, it's really good for clearing the air. I call lemon the cleanup crew. So if we are having thoughts that are negative, it's very uplifting. So any way of smelling it. So yes, in the diffuser, putting it in your hand and smelling it that way, putting your hand up to your nose like that. It really helps to clear your head and to clear your thoughts. And there's different ways you can use it to clear other people's energy as well. So motion for the chakra system, like when we have other people's thoughts or other people's energy or our own negative thinking, our energy can start going backwards. And what I mean by that is our chakra system, which actually is really close to the spine, where that ball of light, oftentimes you see the ball of light for our chakra systems outside of ourselves. It really originates coming through the central core of ourselves. So it's that ball of energy for the solar plexus is about 1 inch in front of the spine, and it can expand the more energy that we have, the more clarity that we have, it can expand. And it also goes in a certain direction for the best optimal health of our body. So it's actually spinning like chakras, in a very rough interpretation is really spinning wheels of light. So with that spinning the right way, we are healthier and we can digest easier. So the direction is like if you were to go circular motion down the left side of your body and up the right. So that's the motion that all of our chakras go in. So if you're feeling indigestion, you can put your hand on your solar plexus, your stomach area, and just put your hand there and go in that motion of down the left side, up the right, and it's just a little circular motion. And that helps a lot right there. Another thing you can do is put your dominant hand on your solar plexus stomach, and then your other hand, arm across your back gently, and right at the waistline. And if you're feeling like you are having indigestion or thinking too much, you could just sit there for a couple of minutes with your hands like that in your body. It kind of relaxes everything and also opens up the channels, the energy channels to, like, even if you overeat, so to open up and help you feel less full, or if you've eaten something that just doesn't set right. So those are a couple of things that you can do.
And you said your palm is on your solar plexus. Right?
Yes.
Your dominant, your left hand, the back of your hand is on the small of your back?
Yes, the back of your hand. Around the waistline.
Yes.
Thank you for the clarity, Brien.
And
like the details.
I was actually going to show this. I don't know how familiar everybody is with the 7 chakras. So I was just going to share my screen. I just found something on the web just showing the 7 chakras. I know there's more chakras, but just for the basic familiarity.
Right. Those are the major, they're called the major ones for our body.
I'm going to share my screen for a second here, okay?
Okay.
Just for all, so we're all on the same wavelength here. So can you see that, Diane, as well?
Yes, I can see that.
I just pulled something up from Google. I typed in 7 chakras.
Yeah.
But it looks good enough. Right? So these are we're focusing on number 3 right now, the solar plexus.
Yeah, that looks more golden to me. How does that look to everybody?
It's a little gold, but yes, yellow is.
I mean, like an orangey. I'd like to see the really nice lemon yellow, that kind of bright, light, clear. But yeah, I know different variations of color charts. But basically, yes, those are the 7 chakras. And I just am targeting this one today, but they all really are. It's interactive. Like for the solar plexus, it not only stays in a ball there, but it comes out and it starts to intermingle with other energy systems that we have. And the solar plexus will interact with our mental body. So the light bodies, the light energy around us. Some people call it auras. But it's just another energy system, but they all interact together. They need to have our optimum health. And so with the solar plexus, the reason I'm talking and emphasizing so much about the thought process for digestion is that it interacts with our mental body, that energy. So all of them work together. When they're working together, we're at our optimum health, joy, strength, just everything functioning so well. So looking at the light bodies, that's another thing that I do. I see where the overload might be. So if you're having indigestion problems, you're probably overthinking, thinking negatively, taking on other people's thoughts. And sometimes that's where I'll see where there's a blockage or it's an overload. So yeah, we have to clean it up somehow. And there's different ways to do that.
Yes. I keep thinking about the quote, if you're in your head, you're dead. If you're in your head, you're dead.
Yeah, well, our heart is supposed to rule.
Yes.
And our mind is supposed to follow follow instruction, and make it happen. But yeah.
So Natalie said, where is the solar plexus exactly?
Okay, it's on the top part of your stomach. And since it could be small, like if you're low on energy, it could be really small wheel of energy in there. Or it could be more expansive, like if you're healthy and digesting and all that. So, but it's the upper stomach. Any other questions so far, comments?
Questions. What do you got? Anybody have any other questions? Anybody have excessive thoughts?
Good question.
Yes. And this is, we're in a world right now of, we're trying to, I don't know about you all, but I know that life just seems a little bit, confusing, right? So, my own brain is often rattled with what to do, how to do it, could have did it better, whatever, so there's just, a need to quiet the mind, So this is a very important piece. It's not just about our food. The food will help. If you have an overwhelmed mind and a bad diet, that's when things really go bad, right?
Right. But
I find that, and I was mentioning this to somebody the other day, I remember having a conversation with one of my acupuncture qigong friends, and he's like, Brien, I eat anything I want. Look at me. And he's right. I mean, his gut was flat. I mean, he eats junk food like crap. But he was just, not to say I'm not advocating that, but those people that can let things roll off of them easier, those people that have mastery of their emotions and, have some tricks to balance their energy, definitely can eat more crap. And I thought that was an interesting thing. But I just thinking of hearing you talk today, I was kind of thinking about just guys, the difference between men and women. Guys are pretty simple, right? You put a guy, this is so frustrating to women. A guy and a woman couple go on a dietary program together. The guy typically loses 3 times as much weight faster. And but then the female tends to have some emotions, and there's like events, and like there's all these things that tend to get in the way. And guys like, well, I'm just not going to eat bad at the event. The woman's like, well, it's Thursday, it's with my friends, it's like this whole, there's just a lot more emotions and, details around it, where the guy's just, I don't know. So I'm just thinking about that too with all of this.
That is very true. And when I work with women, a lot of the times I'll see how their emotion, I spoke of the mental body, but the emotional body is full. If they don't have an outlet to speak, if they don't have it's like medicine to go to lunch with your women friends, and talk about whatever you want to without being judged and with being heard. That's medicine. But a lot of women who don't have an outlet, their emotional bodies are just full, loaded up with these emotions so women need to really have their tribe, have their women friends, have their people, their counselors, their whoever, to be able to unload more. Yeah, I was talking with my oldest son who lives in Canada, and the other day, and he was telling me, oh yeah, he owns a construction business. He goes, boy, I just loaded off on these guys again. And, I said, yeah, frustrations are running really high with everyone. And he says, yeah, but us guys, he said, hours later, we're going to lunch and, buddying up, but they could have the biggest fights and, they just come right back easier. Right, Brien?
Yes.
They let things go easier.
Yes. Not for me, because I hung out with my mother quite a bit, but for most guys.
A lot of, you were saying the differences in men and women. I'm going, yeah, there's some more.
I relate more to women than I do to the typical guy, but yes. Whole nother,
yeah.
So, does anybody have any questions for Diane right now? All right. I think we're no questions.
No. Okay. So there was a cute story I wanted to share about 2 rabbits. They were in opposite ends of a laboratory, and the study was how much what happens when you feed the rabbits just butter? Why they came up with this, I'm not sure. Probably the cholesterol thing, and I'm sure they had other studies to it, but I wasn't aware of what it all was about. All I knew was they were giving only butter. And one rabbit was getting very, very, very heavy, could hardly walk, started losing its fur, started going blind. And the other rabbit was healthier than ever. So they're going, why is this happening? Of course, they want to know, like, what is the difference? So they put up cameras, and they saw that at night when the person who was working the night shift, he would come in, and the rabbit that was healthy, he would take him out of his cage and he would pet him while he was feeding him his butter. And this rabbit just was really healthy. He just was able to digest everything. He was good. So, not saying that we need to be petted while we're eating, but just the comfort that the rabbit probably felt. That was his only human contact. And to get out of his cage, of course. So what does that say, Brien?
I was, heavy petting equals happiness.
Yeah. When you think about how content that rabbit was, is going, I'm loved.
Yes.
I didn't see that. What was that? I'm going to.
I golden retriever, like, she just strives for attention. And yeah, it's just funny how happy, I just think about happiness, and that dog is the happiest creature, but it loves social. I mean, it's like we had a handyman and a contractor here just a second ago. The dog's just like crazy, and it's just,
right.
It brightens up everybody else's day because of her personality, but she receives it as well. It's just such an interesting receiving and giving that a dog can give. And I know not all dogs are.
Yeah, the power of touch. And
yes.
And they say that, people are healthier when they get to enjoy meals with people.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And that's
positive energy. Yeah. I'm kind of seeing some of the comments. That's very nice to see.
Okay, you can see it now. Good. Yes.
I was seeing some of them. I'm sorry. I just I should wear my glasses so I could read them. They go so fast.
Natalie said she's going to bring yellow flowers to work and use lemons to relax my clients and myself, reminding herself to breathe also. She's a hair stylist. Yes. Great. Yes.
There's another very easy thing to do that's helpful when we're feeling too caught up in the negative or needing some extra digestive support, is just holding our fingers. This is like wrapping your hand around your finger. The thumb, because there's so many energy meridians in our bodies, in our energy systems. But this is just another energy pattern for our stomach. Is just holding your thumb. That's the thumb point. So if you want to write that down, because the other fingers are for different organs in the body. So it's giving energy too. So you could hold both, one and then the other. And even a few minutes will help. Even a few minutes will help. Like when you're sitting watching TV, when you're sitting waiting for an appointment, while you're on the phone, it's just very calming. And again, opening and balancing our energy system.
And then we have, we have our other point, the large intestine. I believe it's 7 I studied Chinese medicine for a little over a year. Do you know that point? Is it 4? Do you know that? You know acupressure points too?
You said the large intestine, that's the ring finger.
I think it's LI4, large intestine 4, which is one for letting go. And when you let go, you release not only emotions, but bowels. That's also a good one. That's between the thumb and the index finger, right? That's a very popular one. The web.
This is for not actually the meridian, it's for the an energy pattern. But yes, the other what you're speaking of is very good as well. This one is the ring finger for the lung and the large intestine.
Got it.
And the middle finger is for the liver and the gallbladder, which are, of course, very important as well for digestion. The small intestine and heart is the pinky finger. So it's a different system. Like, we could talk about energy systems for a very long time and not cover them all. They all work, they're all good, and they're all a part of us. And it's about bringing them into balance, which helps the most. So whichever way you can, and whatever you're drawn to, like you said in the beginning, Brien, I honor everybody for what kind of work they do, because we all need different things at different times. So I do totally agree with that. In my work, I just, one of my longtime clients said, I meet people where they're at and I help them to get to where they want to go.
Yes.
And that's true. And I use whatever I can to assist everybody getting there.
Yes.
So, yeah. So love yourselves. Just keep on feeding yourself with all that love energy, because we are love. And this is a big time on planet Earth for recognizing more of our spiritual energy and integrating it more into our physical forms. And for our physical forms to be able to do that, we need to clear the way, get rid of the overload that I was talking about, and start changing our thinking. It's change your thinking, change your life. And that's the truth.
Indeed. Yes. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Thoughts. Sharon says she painted her kitchen an amazing bright yellow. It's one of her favorite rooms.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Hey, I bet everyone congregates in the kitchen to talk. Yellow is a beautiful conversation color to stimulate conversation. So sometimes I'll put yellow flowers on a table when I have to have a meeting, or I go, okay, I want everyone to be gathering around this table and feeling comfortable communicating. It always happens so beautifully. Yeah. So having a yellow kitchen, I bet everyone's going out there and communicating.
I have a question. So lemon, so we know lemon's helpful for digestion, and that product, and so you recommend lemon from Young Living Oils, and I agree, it's amazing. Now there's another product that's good for digestion, Digest, right? So
Yes.
is there lemon in that product? I don't think there is, but is there?
I haven't looked at the ingredients in a long time. I don't know if that has it or not. I know it's like fennel, and I don't remember all what's in it, but it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I use that from, like, I'll use the lemon more regularly, and then I save the Digest for, like, if I'm having agita, just an upset stomach, which is not very often for me. But I'll save that for more, like you said in the beginning, the big guns. digest. So if anyone's having any digestive problems, that's really a amazing product. And it's really for, I know some people in my family get like a stomach flu or stomach virus kind of thing. And that has worked wonders in that case as well. Like, so anything digestive. So just putting the oils across your abdomen on your stomach, and it's very healing. So, applying regularly, not just once and you go, okay, that feels a little better, and then you're not quite there yet. You just do it regularly for a while, even after you feel better. And I know you could be in touch with Brien for the oils. I recommend Young Living oils just because of the integrity that they have for how it's grown, and the chemical constituents that are in each combination in each oil, because that's what actually does the healing part, to help that plant do its absolute job instead of just smelling good.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I tend to use Digest probably once a week when I deviate. Usually when I deviate on my
When you deviate.
on my anything days, and it's like Diane talked about, going up the right side of your colon, your ascending colon, then going across in a circular pattern, and taking that oil and doing that pattern really works wonders. And also, the benefit of Young Living versus other oils is that you can ingest it as well and not feel like you're going to harm yourself. So yes, Suzette asked if we were familiar with doTERRA and Flora.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yes.
I am. I don't have anything against doTERRA. They let you know which ones you can ingest or not. I just have a preference for the Young Living. For me, it feels, how do I want to say it? More potent, more powerful, stronger. Yeah. And that's what matches me. And I've used those for 30 years. But doTERRA, I know people who use them and enjoy them, and it matches them. So I don't, but I don't know their names, so I don't recommend anything. And I don't know, I haven't looked at them for years, so I don't know if they recommend ingesting lemon or lavender. So I'm sure you can be aware of that.
And I have both doTERRA. I have a ton of doTERRA. And a lot of times I have, like, frankincense, I'll have both, or lavender, I have both. And hands down, the Young Living is smells better, and like the frankincense it's disgusting actually.
Which one? The doTERRA?
The doTERRA one, yeah. It just smells.
I've not smelt that one, so I really don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, it just depends. I think if you put them side by side, you could really tell a difference. But
right.
Yeah. doTERRA has a digestive product called Digest Zen, which I actually really like that one as well. But,
so just
they're a little bit pricey, so both of them are. So you want to make sure you're, I would.
Well,
if you never took them before, I would go with Young Living, just because I think they are better, rather than trying to experiment on your own diet.
And about the price, Brien, I've, clients way back in the beginning, of course, the price, and then now with COVID and the pandemic and, our financial situations going woo-woo sometimes for some people, some are doing well, but the cost, like the people that I worked with high blood pressure or serious digestive issues, they were always going to the doctors, expensive meds, and just not really getting much relief. So it was about educating them about the medicinal part of this. It's not just, to feel good in the moment. They have so many healing properties to them. So it's like medicine, the original medicine. And, a lot of people started jumping on board and saying, okay, I'm going to get off of these. They weaned themselves off of medications because the oils were working better than the medications. So I've had a lot of clients with successful stories about their physical health. And they'd go to the doctor after a couple of months and the doctor would say, what are you doing? And, they'd explain. And I was always surprised that 99% of the time, doctors did not want to know about looking into the oils. But I also know a person who is very high on the scale of Young Living oils with the company. She does have a lot of doctors who have signed up, and there are hospitals around the world who are using Young Living products for their patients. So that's exciting.
Yes, for sure. No, I mean, it definitely is less expensive than going to the doctor and being part of the medical system. So I get it. Yes. And yeah, and then Sharon asked about pet health. Yeah, there's some oils that are definitely not healthy for pets. And Young Living does have a FAQ on that. And if you have any, I know certain things like, is it Melaleuca? That's not good for pets, right?
I don't know. I used to deal with pets a lot before, and I had my own. But someone would have to look that up. I really don't. I'm not familiar with that right now.
Yeah, but
and Young Living does have a lot of information about that.
Yes, but we have we just moved, and with moving, animals definitely get stressed and anxious, right?
Right.
Or cats. So we definitely, they sell an oil for anxiety reducing, for anxiety reduction for animals. So we bought it we have it for our dogs and our cats. We just supplied it recently. So we've been using it.
Well, for our dog, Moon Bear, she was a 120-pound dog, and she had some shepherd in her, and black lab, and a little Rottweiler, a little bit of that, but sweet as can be. But she really loved, because she started having the hip problems. Valor was one that was her favorite, and we would just like wipe it on, not necessarily drop it on her, but we would just put it on our hand and go down her spine and then along her hips and on her paws, and she just loved that. She walked better for days after that.
Yes. Yeah, that's one. I don't know if you told me that, but you said I think it was you said it's a chiropractor in a bottle.
That's one of its nicknames. Yes.
Yes.
The other word is courage in a bottle.
Yes.
It helps to, it resets our energy system to where we feel more confident, is what that one does. And as far as the chiropractor in a bottle, a chiropractor said, a client of mine that I had for years, coming to me for 5 years or so, an elderly gentleman, he had to go quite frequently to get any relief. And one time he said, would you put this oil on my spine? And the doctor put it on his spine. And then he went over and got one of his tools that he usually uses and turned around and just gasped, because he said, it looked like a different person on the table. The way it shifted his energy, and the chiropractor adjustments lasted longer as well. So if anyone's interested, Brien knows how to get those oils and can tell you all about it. Yeah.
So Bob, you had a question. I didn't understand your question, Bob. You said, how do I spell that DG? What was that again?
Digize.
Oh, digest. Got it. Okay. Yes, got it. Yeah.
Digize.
Yes, I wrote that in the
Okay.
box there. Any other questions as we wrap up? Yeah, go ahead, Diane.
What was I going to say? About the valor, maybe. Oh, one of the other things that I do too is called an etheric adjustment. So sometimes when people are going to the chiropractor or feel like they need to go, I do an energy adjustment, long distance, of course. And they say that it feels better instantly. And then also it does help the adjustment, chiropractic adjustment, to go smoother and easier and hold longer. So just thought I'd throw that in.
And just my little case study is, I've told a lot of people about this, but back in July, August, some of you may remember, it was July, August of last year. Does anybody remember? I really couldn't even get on the ground. I was teaching my virtual class. It was a bit embarrassing, actually, teaching a fitness class, and I couldn't get on the ground very well. My back was so jacked up, and I had went to, I mean, I collect people that are good at what they do. So I went to like 6 different chiropractors because I was really thinking that one of those chiropractors could be the answer and help me out. I went to my friend, who a lot of you know, physical therapist, Brian Fisher, who's amazing physical therapist, works with the Niners. I mean, he's awesome. I had acupuncture, I had massage, and I go to an amazing massage therapist. A lot of you know her, Susan Fleming. But nobody could get me better. And I was working with Diane. I was like, Diane, I was in bed. I was like, I couldn't even get out of bed. And at this time too, I also had, like, I remember like Maya was my demo for working out, and Chris and whoever I could get. I was like, hey, is anybody available? I cannot get down on the ground. And every time I got out of a chair, I felt like I was 80. I would have to grab my back. It was terrible. And I remember I had a session with Diane, and she had me grab a crystal. So she does work with crystals as well. And I have a bunch of crystals. She has crystals in back of her. So we do oils, crystals, and stuff on the phone. And she's like, put the crystal on the left side of your distended belly. And I'm thinking, did I tell her my left side was distended? I don't remember. And I'm like, Diane, did I just tell you that? I don't remember. She's like, no, but I can see it. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, let's go on. And she's like, put the crystal there. I'm like, okay, great. And she did whatever she does. And I got up for the first time without pain. And it was outstanding. And my back pain went away after that session. I think we probably worked on something related to my father. I don't know, but he seems to keep getting in the way. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's not even alive anymore, but he still affects me. And I just remember just feeling free after that session. And again, I still, I mean, I believe in this stuff. I know a lot of people may not, but it's still hard for me to believe the emotions have that big of a role, even me. But it's like, man, that was amazing. And you know, I went to all these people, and it's still, even if I had back pain today, I'm going to probably go to a chiropractor, but I am going to remember that moment. It seems too hard to believe. Honestly, it's like, you know, it's like, really? Come on, right? I
know. It's pretty amazing the way that works. And it doesn't happen all the time. You know, it's just, I say miracles happen every day, and let's just watch for them.
Yes. So yes, thank you for that. And
there's a crystal. I don't know if everyone can see that. That's one that Brien sent me. It's called the Golden Healer. Is that visible?
A little bit. Yes.
A little bit.
And in the Bay Area, guys, we have an amazing resource for crystals. Mike, my friend.
Can you see it better this way?
Yes.
So beautiful. That's called the Golden Healer. Love it.
So if you don't want to pay crazy prices for crystals, and if you ever work with Diane, she may say, hey, this crystal may be helpful for you.
Well, you know, it's about energy again. You know, everything has energy to it. And these healing stones just are amazing. the different energies, the properties that they have, just like the oils. You know, they have a life of their own and they can assist us. It's just about getting in, you know, getting them and having them in your space and, you know, knowing how to activate them and cleanse them. And they're just beautiful to have around. So yeah, whatever you're drawn to. But yes, I use crystals and oils and flower essences and all kinds of vibrational, you know, bells and whistles and crystal bowls. I have all those in my office here, my healing room office.
Someone asked, I think it was Martina, asked about your candles in back of you. And she says, is there a reason why you have candles? And I'm going to answer that question a little bit for her. Everything that she does is a reason for. Yeah, so go ahead. I got those candles in back of you right now.
Yeah, for me, they're not like real fire candles. They're, you know, the battery operated. But I like that to represent fire. Fire is a good energy for me. And I like to have that. It's a nice ambiance. It's, you know, so it's like touching upon the elements. So I have the earth with the plants and the fire with the candles. And then I have, everything has a purpose. Yes, everything does have a purpose. And then I have another crystal that represents water. So.
Yes. Great.
Oh, yeah, let me show you this one. It was a selenite, right, Brian, that I asked you to put on your
Yes.
side of your stomach. Okay, this one, I don't know if you could even see it all, like.
It's a very white, yes.
Yeah, so you had one like this, the wand, right?
Yeah, I think that kills White Walkers, doesn't it?
Does what?
Anyway, Game of Thrones, forget it. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know that. I've not seen that.
Somebody out there's out there. Anyway.
But yeah, that's funny. But this is what I had you put on your side. Yeah, it's very
smaller version, but yes.
Really helped.
Yes. Selenite, yeah, and every crystal has a purpose, right? Lavender, or not lavender, the purple one. That's very popular.
Amethyst.
Yeah, amethyst is super popular. But yes, my mom's a big amethyst purple person.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So any other question?
Yes. So questions, Sharon says, what kind of oil would you use on a wrist joint? I know Valor would be a good one.
On what? I didn't.
Wrist joints.
Wrist joints. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Valor will help. Like, is it carpal tunnel or is it disjointed, or depends on what it is. But Valor, yes. And lavender sometimes. And then there's an oil that's called Ortho Ease. If you're in a lot of pain, there's one called Panaway. Ortho Ease is like, I think it addresses the nerves, the muscles, maybe even the bone. That's more of a massage oil from Young Living. It's not one that you would ingest. It's that you could apply to any sore spots, any muscles that are sore. Valor really helps with shifting and adjusting things if they're out of place. And lavender will help relax the muscles, of course.
Very good. So I think we need to sign off. We could talk forever, but thank you so much, Diane. Any closing things that you want to do? Anything in closing?
I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
And if anyone would like to contact me, Brian, I haven't told you, I just recently got a new email. It's Diane, DIANE Elmore, ELMORE at AOL.com. So if you'd like to send a comment or I will answer one question for all of you for being here today. Thank you for being here. Brien, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
And if anyone would like an appointment, my number is 719-200-8147. You can call, leave a message. I get back to people within 24 hours. And, or you can text. Texting is good. My children taught me how to do that. And this was great, Brien. Thank you for the invitation.
And
thank you all for being here.
yes, if anybody needs to contact her, just shoot me an email and I'll connect you to. Okay.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Brien. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Take care. Bye.
Love yourselves.